No one wanted to give me a chance back then.
I don't know why, I'm feeling like I gained some weight. I did not, by the way. I'm actually not that bad on weight. I'm like 211, which is only 14 pounds heavier than 197. Maybe I start cutting soon. More again. I took a little break again from walking, just because I want to fully get my knee healed up. I feel like it's almost better. I feel like my right knee is now better. I feel like the left knee is still a little off. I feel like a little bit, but I feel like overall everything is getting a little. I'm a little tired right now, but I do feel like everything's getting better now, and I'm getting better with everything now. So that's good. And I just feel like, wait, why did this go off in 5 minutes? Wait, what happened? I took a different path, but really? 5 minutes? I'm so confused right now. It's 25 minutes now. It was only 20 minutes before, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. But it's 25 now, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get in class exactly on time. I wanted to leave actually a little early. I wanted to take a different path. I actually started getting ready at 1 o'clock, and for some reason, I still left at 1:30 today, so that kind of sucks. And I'm going to get there by 1:55-ish. So yeah, I don't know why. I'm really tired all of a sudden. It just hit me last 2 minutes now. I don't know what's going on. I was feeling perfectly fine, but a topic that I was really thinking about, like not thinking about, but something I saw, was that relatability. And I'll tell you why. What I mean by this is, when I post the transformation reels from 260 pounds to now wrestling against these top guys in the country, it seems like so unreachable almost. Like, it's almost like, wait, it's too good to be true. And I feel like the issue is the reach is not high enough right now. I feel like still that's the only issue, that I haven't reached a lot of accounts. So it's not like a lot of people are just seeing it and ignoring it. It's just I'm not getting pushed out a lot. But when I am, those accounts, some of them are like, oh wait, this is way too good to be true. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is why I feel like this. On YouTube today, usually when I post the transformation reels, I add like wrestling against this ranked guy or something like that. Today I just added wrestling in college, and in the first like 10 minutes, I got 100 views, which was alright. It was decent for YouTube shorts. Usually they get high views really quickly. But wait, why did it direct me this way? Where am I going? Oh my god. I can see now why it's the direction a little longer, because it's taking me to this weird path right here. I mean, I'm assuming it's telling me to go straight now, so this is where I usually go, right? Yeah, I usually take that right turn over there, so I don't understand why it's taking longer, but yeah. Basically, it ended up getting 6 likes and 100 views, which is really a good ratio for YouTube Shorts. So, but what my theory is that, like, since I only added wrestling in college and not like wrestling it's a high level competition, it's like people are more like connected to it. And like you hear it a lot in some of the videos, like where the people, like, let's say the videos where sometimes people have like a victim mentality, stuff like that, like be like, oh yeah, I wish I could have done more, I wish I could have done this, I wish I didn't miss the regrets. I feel like those videos aren't actually them talking about themselves. They're talking like in the view of like someone else. So what I mean is that, like for example, like other people feel exactly what the video is saying. And if the video is talking about them being like an elite athlete or something like that, the viewer's gonna be like, oh wait, I can't relate to this, I'm not that, and it makes them feel bad almost. And I feel like my videos are actually not inspiring people, not like the ranked ones. I feel like I might have to get rid of the rankings and stuff like that, and like completely remove the D1 thing for a little bit, and just add wrestling in college, and then add the D1 thing later, because I feel like it's making people feel a little bad, you know what I'm saying? This is the first time I ever got a comment like this, where some dude on my TikTok, on my coaching account, actually commented on my video saying cap on the on one of the transformation videos. And this video got over 850 views, 45 likes, so I'm assuming that's a decent ratio. I don't think that's too bad. I know some people get like 10 likes and get 800 views and stuff like that. So it's not too bad. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. So, you know, it just was a little weird seeing that because hopefully this stupid thing doesn't keep going off all the time. I hate this so much. Did I say it already? That today's gonna be my last day of me going to these classes today, and you know, it's gonna be pretty weird. I didn't go to my morning class, of course. That was the last time I probably would ever went. I mean, I think that class is over though. I'm not too sure. I don't think they had class today because it's usually the morning class and then there's a lecture after. And I never go to the lecture. I've never actually been to today's Wednesday, right? So today was my last chance to go to the lecture anyway. So yeah, I don't really ever go to that lecture. Nothing's really going on. I don't understand why I'm doing it. I never really go to that lecture anyways because I don't really see the point. Everyone's on their phone anyways, and it's like I don't really understand what's the point of going to lectures if they're doing that. The only reason why I go to the my 3 o'clock class, like this class right now, the 2 o'clock class, is because they give quizzes out every single once in a while. I don't want to like miss a day, and they give out a quiz. So they give out quizzes I think once a week, as 2 days a week. So I come here just because I don't want to miss that day, and also because of this class. This class at 3:30 after that they take attendance for that class, only that class. But that's because there's only 20 kids in that class, so take attendance there. And I'm already on 4 days, so I'm already on the 4-day thing. So if you miss over 4 days, you lose the credit for the class almost. So I can't miss another day. It's been like that since I think October time or something like that. I'm not too sure exactly when. Because I missed 4 classes in the first 3 weeks. So, yeah, I couldn't really miss any classes after that. And, you know, back to the relatability thing. It's just, I feel like a lot of people portray themselves as weak so they can relate more. Because you gotta understand, I'm not saying this in like a way like I'm better than everybody or something like that. I mean, I work really hard and everything like that. But there's a lot of weak people. There's more weak people than strong people. And I'll tell you why this is. I just saw a video on this. Literally a YouTube video about this while I was eating. You know, I watch YouTube when I eat. And some people might see that as like, oh yeah, he can't eat without watching TV or something like that. But, I mean, I don't see an issue too much about it. I don't understand why this car is doing that. I don't really see an issue too much about that, you know. Yeah, I'm going like so fast on this road and people are still getting mad. But what do you call it? Yeah, I'm gonna come back to it. You know, some people are like, oh yeah, that's not good eating. Maybe I gotta turn off the heater. That's why I'm a little off right now. Maybe I'll get a little bit. It's really cold outside. Like, even me going into my car right now, it was so cold. So hopefully walking there and back, it's a 10-minute walk there and back. So hopefully it's not like crazy cold right now. And this class is gonna be really, really boring. And I gotta do so much stuff, but it's not that I have to. I always get the opportunity to do all this stuff, you know. You always gotta be really thankful for everything you really have, you know. Me being able to drive, me being able to open my eyes and see the road and everything like that. A lot of people get sucked into the darkness, being like, oh yeah, I hated this stuff that happens in my life. And some people like to use like some stuff that happened to them in the past and be like, oh yeah, this is the reason why I can't do this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not acting like I'm better than anybody, because I used to do this all the time. Like, this is why for me, when I see the pictures of me at my heaviest, I like avoided those pictures for years. Like, I didn't see those pictures for years. When I started this content thing, that's when I actually started using those pictures. I never used those pictures, you know, before. I never saw those pictures because I remember everything that was going on in that time period. I remember the mindset I used to have. I used to walk around being like, oh yeah, I'm this poor person. I had all this bad stuff happen to me and stuff like that. And I had an excuse. I talked a little bit about it in my speech, in my wrestling speech, and I had the whole place like crying and stuff like that, and everyone like clapping at the end and like because it was inspiring. It wasn't just a trauma. It wasn't just a trauma dump. I didn't talk about too much. I just talked about some stuff. But either way, I had the excuse, whatever it was. Still, I just kept on having that excuse, being like, oh yeah, poor me, and poor that. But if I what do you call it? If I didn't show up to school for a month, for example, no one would care. If I had let's say for example, I had a mental breakdown or whatever it is, like some mental issue, and I don't go to school for 3 months back then, no one would remotely care because I was a nobody. I was a no-name and I was a nobody. No one cared about me. I didn't do a sport, which in the eyes of high school is seen as like, oh yeah, that's the status. And after high school, it's like, oh yeah, if you're not like working hard or like in the best physical condition, you're not doing all this type of stuff, if you're not making yourself look like you're having fun and stuff like that, you're seen as less. But back in high school, it was like, oh yeah, sports, whatever the sports. So if you were good at talking, stuff like that, you were looked down upon. So basically, I was a nobody. I had nothing to my name when I went to high school, and no one knew who I was because I talked about it before. When I went to high school, all the kids there weren't actually from my middle school. Most of them weren't, and maybe it's like that for other schools as well. But for me, that's how it went. So I didn't really know a lot of people there, and it was hard for me to connect with a lot of people in the beginning. And that's why I had that victim mentality. I'm like, oh yeah, all these other people, they live such happy lives and stuff like that. And part of it was true. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, it's like, all right, so what? Someone else also is dealing with an issue like this as well, and they're having that victim mentality as well. This victim mentality that I'm gonna have, I'm not gonna get anywhere with this. I'm just gonna keep digging myself worse and worse. And I was like thinking to myself, like I don't want to be like, when I started losing weight, it wasn't just to be healthy or anything like that. It was like break free from all those people who told me that you were never gonna be this, you were never gonna be that, never gonna be all this. And it's like when I first started exercising, some people are like, oh yeah, the first day I exercised was the worst day. And that's true for me. It sucked. And the second day sucked. And the third day sucked. And I quit. And I kept quitting. I kept on doing it. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna start not eating as much. And I quit like in 2 days. This is a thought that I kept on having over and over again. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna stop eating. And then 2 days later, I would just start eating again. Because I'm like, I can't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I remember this, one time, I had this one container. I used to fill it up with a bunch of chips and a bunch of other stuff, and I just used to eat it, and I don't know why that memory is just sticking to me. I just remember something happening, and I remember afterwards I went to my room, and I just started eating those chips and stuff like that, and, I'm not really absolutely amazed about the person that I was back then. Like, of course, there was tons of stuff that was going on in my life and stuff like that, but I wasn't always the best person in the world, and I feel like my living condition and everything like that, I used to blame a lot of people for the way I was living and everything like that. I gotta maybe turn on the heat. That's maybe why it's a little too hot in here. So I feel like that's what also happens as well in my room. If it's too hot, I actually get tired, I don't want to turn it down too low when the air is coming and everything. Let me see, 62 maybe is good. So it's 10 degrees lower than what it was before. It's still hot in here, but when you go outside, it's freezing cold. So yeah, that's that. But basically, I always had that victim mentality. I used to walk around all day in school having that victim mentality. I feel like this is the issue though. I feel like I'm getting a lot more low, but maybe it's in my head a little bit. But right now, literally, just as I turn on the heat, I'm getting a little active again, and that's not me as well. I'm just saying it's this truck over here. This is truck that's going very slow on this road right now, and it's annoying me a bit because now I'm getting late to my class and everything like that. Yo, I'm telling you, this might be it. It's the heat that's getting me tired. Maybe there's some science thing behind this, or maybe I'm just waffling, but. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting a little bit more awake right now. As soon as I came to this car, or a little bit before when I started getting hot in my room, that's when I started, getting tired. But now all of a sudden I'm feeling a lot better. I don't know what's up with that, but, it's that's why I really don't like I'm talking about the pictures and stuff like that. I don't like seeing it, because, it reminds me of that time period of like when everything was going wrong. Like when I say like some people, like when you like are overweight and stuff like that, some people be like, oh yeah, or like some people like were skinny and stuff like that, or like this or that, whatever it really was, and like, oh yeah, I hit rock bottom because of like where they were like in their like just physical state and like maybe a little bit of mental state and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, like my actual whole entire life, like I actually hit the lowest of lows. Like I like hit really low, like a really low. Like I know like a lot of people like in the sports scene in the high school and stuff like that. Like if you're not like the star athlete in 9th grade, like you're already seen as like behind or stuff like that. And I was this like in March, like in my whole entire 9th grade year, I was in this horrible dark period. Like I'm talking about like not talking to anybody for months, not looking at any. Like I mean, when I say not talking to anybody for months, I mean like not opening my mouth and talking to anybody. Like I mean like I went a whole 2 months without not even talking to a teacher at one point. I remember just counting down. I'm like, all right, this is whatever. And I just remember like everything. I remember sitting in my yeah, I just remember everything, and it's crazy to think where I started off and where it ended. Like, and hopefully that like shows is a little cool to people. And a lot of people don't understand the full story or anything behind it. Maybe they will never. I don't think I'm gonna tell absolutely everything because maybe as long as I can just inspire people really and have a positive impact, doing all this, that's all I really want. I'm really going after everything as hard as possible and not trying to make people feel bad about whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want like people to like look at what I'm doing and be like, oh yeah, that guy is such a punk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing anything in my life. And he's doing all that. I want to like genuinely like have people be like, oh yeah, that's inspiring. Like because I never had anything like that. I won't. Yeah, some people like. Maybe I should have stopped there, but yeah, that's and that whole period. It's like I hit like it's crazy to think everything. Oh my god! I remember as well. I feel like this is also really why I hit the lowest points because I use video games a lot as a distraction. It was a really big distraction for me. That was like my escape mechanism and stuff like that, and like. That was like the only way, because I didn't have social media. I didn't actually have social media at this time. Maybe this is also limiting my relatability or whatever it is. I can't even speak right now. Because like I thought like everyone was on social media like connecting each other and stuff like that, and I didn't use any of it because I didn't know how it worked, and I didn't want to like you had to put your face out there on social media and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like put like a public profile and stuff. I didn't even know how it worked. I had Snapchat downloaded for like. I did download it one time in February. And I always got a little nervous downloading the social media app because everyone told you all this stuff's bad for you and stuff like that. So I didn't use any of it. But yeah, your whole life, everyone's always telling you social media is bad. Don't download it and stuff like that. So I actually didn't download it or anything. My parents were like, oh yeah, don't use social media. And when I started using it, like, why are you on this app? So they didn't really get mad or anything like that. They're like, why are you on this? Like looking a little weird at me. I'd be like, I don't know. And that was like a thing, like my parents were like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have social media. You shouldn't talk to anybody. Like I wasn't allowed to have like actual friends. Like I don't think you understand. Like I was not able to like if I told my dad, for example, if I was talking to anybody, he'd be like, what are you doing? Don't talk to them again. Like sit in the library. So that was the thing I heard a lot. But that library part was because I was getting a lot of trouble in the lunchroom. So he told me I'm sit in the library and stuff like that. But I didn't want to. I wanted to go outside and play. And yeah, that whole thing. It's like it's weird everything. It's really weird, but anyways, I got my Xbox ticket. I played on my Xbox back then. Hopefully it doesn't upset people. But yeah, I used to play on Xbox, and they got taken away from me. And after that happened, hopefully the speed that I'm driving at right now. I mean, hopefully it gets a little better in like 2 seconds or something like that. I don't want it, like, I feel like sometimes when I'm driving on this main road, I'm talking, it's like a little hard to hear me a little bit. And hopefully that's not the case. I really don't want that to be the case. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to speak a little bit louder, so just in case. I don't know why everything is being just going crazy right now, but anyways, so they took away my Xbox, I think around October time, and I didn't have it from October time till like end of January time. So the thing was that at that point I didn't have any social media, so social media wasn't like a problem for me. It wasn't like, I know like a ton of people gain like a scrolling addiction and stuff like that. I didn't. I hardly ever used TikTok or anything like that. Like, for example, I didn't even know how to use Snapchat or anything like that. And the thing was, on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, you had to use like your face and stuff like that. Like, you had to put yourself out there and stuff like that. And I was afraid of doing that for multiple reasons. One, putting yourself out there is a scary thing, online and everything like that. That's scary. But also, I was in like the worst physical state in my life. I was like really heavy, and my face is full of fat and everything like that. So, that was that. And, I was just constantly, everywhere I went, I'm like, why am I going this far? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm really ahead. Yeah, I went a little bit over the spot, but, I'm a little bit of a rush a little bit. I'm getting late down to my class again, which I didn't want to do on the last day of class. It's for this one class. We're doing finals review, and the other class, I don't know what we're doing, because it's I don't know if we're having a final on that class or whatever it is. I have no idea. To be honest, I really don't care too much, but, I didn't have that for a while, so I started just watching TV, and just on my phone, and at this time as well, I actually didn't really listen to a lot of music. Yeah, I don't think I listened to way too much music. I think I listened to maybe, I didn't even have any headphones back then, so I have to do the trick where you would turn your phone on 0 volume, and I feel like as well, like if I listen to music, my parents were like, oh, you're not allowed to listen to music either or anything like that. I'm telling you, I did not, I grew up in a very different place than a lot of other people, so I probably wasn't allowed to use headphones either. I'm not too sure about that. So I remember one day, I remember just like playing my headphones in the lunchroom for like 5 or 10 minutes. Oh my, why am I thinking of it? Like for 5 minutes, stuff like that. And I felt like everyone was looking at me, because I didn't know how headphones worked back then or anything like that. So when I started playing it, I didn't want to turn it too loud so other people would hear it, because maybe just in case. Because I felt like everyone was like playing some weird electronic music or something like that, going like shh, 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 shh. I felt like that's the music that everyone was listening to, and I was listening to like music with like lyrics and stuff like that, and like some actual like good music and stuff like that, like classic music, like popular music from the 2010 period, stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people listen to that stuff, but I felt like back then I thought everyone was listening to like robotic, like going like so I was a little ashamed to do that. So the first time I ever just playing in the lunchroom, and I was sitting alone and stuff like that, and I felt like everyone was either like maybe was looking at me a bit or something like that. I was afraid that the music would be like all of a sudden just playing out loud and everything like that, and everyone would be looking at me and stuff like that. So I like kept on doing it for like first 5 minutes, and I took it off, and I didn't wear the headphones again. So what I used to do was at home, I used to play it on the 0 volume on my phone, like, and I would like slightly turn it up, like on the one, like I would turn it down all the way down, and I would turn it up one bit, and then like play it right in my ear. I'd hold the phone right into my ear and listen to it like that. And what do you call it? Yeah, that's how I used to listen to my music. And I didn't do it too much. I didn't really listen to music back then. Which, music's as well as an escape for your thoughts and stuff like that. So I was in complete control almost of my thoughts and everything like that. So like almost all the time I was thinking on my own. And I felt like the only time I ever really listened to any music was actually like when I was like playing my games and stuff like that. Sometimes that was back in February, January time. But after that, I didn't really, but then I started in March time or April time. I started listening to this one rapper I found. It was on YouTube. I know. Here's what ended up happening. So one day, as I was walking down the hallway, uh, you know, in my school, I think one of the teachers, something like that, on this big speaker was playing like, I don't know what song it was. I don't know what song it was. It was really motivational rap music. Maybe it was Lose Yourself. I'm not too sure what song it was. Maybe. Anyways, I started, when I got back home, I'm like, I gotta find that song. That song was pumping me up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could, like, when I walked past that classroom, I just started walking back and forth, because I'm like, oh my god, this song's pretty cool. It's hyping me up a bit. So I'm like, yeah, that's it. And, I maybe it was Lose Yourself, I'm not too sure. But I searched up motivational raps and stuff like that, and I found this one artist named NF, and the first song I listened to ever of him was Warm Up. That's the song that popped up, so I played that one. It's a very motivational song, and like, oh my god, this song is pretty cool. Like, it's literally talking to all. It's like it feels like it's like he's like talking to me almost. I'm like, oh my god, like he's talking to everything I feel. And I started listening to more of his music, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm feeling exactly what this guy's all about. And I'm like, this guy's pretty sick, because I felt like back then everyone was like electronic music going once again. So he was a little different. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's pretty sick and stuff like that. So I started listening to him on my headphone, like on my I had my Xbox back by April time and stuff like that. So I started playing him while on my games. I had my headphones, like my mic. So that was the way I could play it. And that was pretty cool having that. So I started playing that on my headphones, stuff like that, on the microphone thing. And I started listening to Eminem as well afterwards, like that. Listening to that is like funny songs in the early times. I used to listen to a lot of his motivational songs, like Till I Collapse, Lose Yourself. I had Mockingbird on it. I had the song Beautiful. All of his really top hits I had on it. And yeah, those songs. I don't remember what else songs I had. It was all the popular songs I had, and I had Without Me for some reason as well. So that was a little bit of like a mood changer a bit. Yeah, I think I'll go for like Mockingbird to Without Me. So that was a pretty cool mood changer. But yeah, that's like during that period though, I didn't have any escape mechanism, so I had to like face my thoughts like one on one. And every single day, like I was like getting hit hard by my real thoughts. And I'm like, oh my god, like I'm a loser. I'm doing all this terrible stuff. I used to be that guy. I'm like, now I'm a loser. I can't even talk to anybody and stuff like that. And every single day was in that dark period and stuff like that. And I remember one time, it's just like everything was just a little off. Everything. And I feel like that period, that's why I don't really like seeing pictures and stuff like that, because it reminds me of all that period where everything for me was just messed up and everything. And like, it's why I'm really grateful for everything. Like 4.5 years sounds like a long time, but like you really think about like some people, look at how some people are when they're 25 and where they are when they're 29. They're the exact same. So think about me when I'm 14 to 19. I was not 15 to 19, or 15 to like 7 or 18 or whatever it was. 15, like think about it, the first year of high school, in my freshman year I was 260 and stuff like that, completely in a dark space, like literally in like the December 2020 was a really dark period in my life and stuff like that. Then you go 4 years later, December 2024, I'm wrestling against a D1 ranked guy. You know what I'm saying? And a D1 duel with me. 4 years later, without ever having wrestled a sport in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, it's not like crazy like, oh my god, I'm this now, I'm this, have this elite genetics or whatever it is, or like elite talent or stuff like that. And I feel like that's maybe something that's like saying that, oh yeah, I'm unrelatable because I did that. But like, I'm trying to show that there's no limits to any of this stuff. Like, I never seen anybody really who's overweight, soft, overweight, doing what I'm doing now in sports or anything like that. I didn't see it, like, in any professional sports or anything like that, or college sports or anything. You saw all these guys who were genetically gifted since they were young. And I never seen any of that stuff. So I'm like, when I started doing all this stuff, I never pictured myself where I am right now. of course, right now, in the current minute, I'm not in my all-time greatest, like, position because of where I was before last year. This year, I'm not in my all-time greatest position in terms of my sport and everything like that. But still, compared to where I was 4 years ago, it's like a huge thing. And it's like, when I started posting about it, I'm like, oh, I think people are going to laugh at it a bit and stuff like that. Because, you know, I didn't really see the importance of the story and stuff like that. I never even told anybody about it. I told like maybe one person saw it that was wrestling with me, but he moved a year later, so he was the only person who really knew about it. I didn't really tell anybody else ever, but yeah, that's really that. I have to go to class though right now, but you know, be proud of yourself, but don't like be like, all right, I'm proud of myself, but I'm just gonna be comfortable now. I'm gonna be happy where I am. No, be proud of how far you come, but at the same time, continue to work as hard as possible. Be like, all right, fine, this is how far I came, but. You know, this is how far I came, but now I can even further make myself even more proud. And some people, what ends up happening is they get to this point where they're proud of how far they come and stuff like that, but they're like, all right, now I'm doing good. And if I do any more, it's going to be like, oh, you're toxic, or whatever it is. Be like, all right, I'm doing good for myself. You know, I'm just going to be happy, smiling, doing my own little thing, and be happy with my own little life. And you end up actually worsening yourself in that way. And I've seen it happen so much times where people get so comfortable where they are, and that's why I'm not doing that. So I keep pushing. I'm like, all right, fine. I defy the odds already. I can lay in my bed right now, stay comfortable, and keep posting. And maybe in 1 year or something like that, I might this thing takes off huge and stuff like that. But first of all, I'm just trying to secure a future while I'm doing this. A lot of people, I saw this video as well right now, literally today, about this wrestler who had all these wrestling achievements and stuff like that, and in his D1 college and everything like that. And afterwards, he didn't know what to do with his life. So for me, I'm knowing what I'm doing with my life. Like I'm going after everything as hard as possible. But at the same time, I'm still also working hard in the gym. When I get back into the wrestling room, I'm gonna work hard there, and everything like that. I'm still working really hard, but at the same time, I'm securing my future as well. So, you know, I'm really just, like I said, I want to outwork the competition. I know the competition is destroying. The competition is scrolling. Let's be honest. There's not a lot of people like me who's never been scrolling their life or never really used social media too much. Most of them have used social media because it's like a normal thing. Scrolling is a normal thing. Most people have done this, so they're already weak in that sense and stuff like that. So I know my competition can't handle sitting in your room and editing videos for hours without any dopamine or anything like that. They can't handle it. So I know that, and that's why I might keep outworking them. That's why I keep producing so much volume, because I know they can maybe outwork me in the quality of content. They have better facilities than me, better information than me. They've been older than me, so they probably know more stuff than me, and they have more of the stuff, whatever it is. But at the same time, I'm gonna produce more quantity, but I'm also gonna maintain the high quality and go into lanes that nobody's doing. Right now, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create this new series where I review every single D1 team and review a highlight from there, and like start talking about it and like commentating on it and giving you some like good like information from an actual college wrestler. But why I'm also doing this is because good match film. I don't really watch any wrestling. And I should be doing this. I don't do it because I don't like watching it. I don't really know where to watch wrestling, and no one really commentates on it. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just do it myself. So I'm gonna upload every single day a short form video, like a 20-second video, and I might also upload a long form video. I'm still seeing if I'm gonna do that. A long form, maybe 10 minutes long, just reviewing a whole match and giving my analyzing the match and doing that because no one did it. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I see an open lane, and I also wish I had somebody who did this. That's why I'm doing that as well. So I'm attacking areas that has an open lane, the daily journey. No one's doing it in wrestling, so I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. I'm attacking open lanes, and I'm outworking everybody. So that's really it for now. I have to get to class, but I'll let you know how it goes on the way back. God, my left knee is hurting so bad right now, last 2 minutes, and very cold outside, you know. It's just, right now, it's literally coming up in my head right now, like, this knee has been an issue, well, it's my right knee, and the knee's an issue and stuff like that, for so long now, and I'm like, do I just hang up this sport? I'm like I said, I was talking before about not getting too comfortable or anything like that, but then what would all this journey video be about? Maybe, I don't really know. Did I just waste this entire time? And that's what I'm thinking. That is everything that I just did this whole entire semester and everything just a waste of time. And I don't really know exactly. You know, it's a very big fear about wasted time and stuff like that. But either way, it's not like I did, like, besides the whole content and everything like that, I more just damaged my entire, like, reputation and everything like that. Everyone just looks at me differently now. I lost that mysterious, quiet image or whatever it was, that tough image that all the athletes have. I lost all of that, and I took a risk. And the reason why a risk is called a risk is because you don't win in these risks a lot. There's always a win and there's always a lose. And this content thing took a lot of my energy, especially when I was posting 20x a day, and it's been my real passion. And oh my god, I don't know why my left knee's hurting right now. This thing didn't start too long ago though, so there's only been an issue for about 5 weeks now, 6 weeks. So this is so stupid because it happened. I was literally playing basketball outside for 2 minutes. I was going to pick up my little sister from school, and I literally went outside to play for like 2 minutes, and I hurt my knee from there. I don't know why. I was playing aggressive, and I'm like, oh, I realized, I learned that playing aggressive hurts the knee. So I'm like, for me at least. So I stopped doing that, but all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I want to do it again, and I hurt my knee again. So it's stupid, and a great way to bond with people is sports, and just in general, that's a great way to connect with people. Sports, and it's very beneficial for people when they're younger to do a type of sport, anything really. Some people that do band and stuff like that be like, oh no, sports are toxic, this and that. And they sometimes got a point, with wrestling, for example. If you're like a 101 pounder and your coach is making you cut like 10, 20 pounds and make you lose like years of your life because he wants to, have a title or whatever it is, that's when it like sucks and is toxic. But it's not too exact. There's some like really like stupid coaches that ruin the sport. Like for me, I can talk about that experience firsthand. That it does suck when a coach is making everything about themselves and sacrificing the entire team just for the performance of him and really having favoritism. I mean, of course, I don't have any grudge. I just saw it firsthand, It's something that I hold too much grudges against because, high school achievements, they don't really mean anything. It's just that the only grudge or anger I would have really is that I lost the high school experience. And it was like when I lost my whole season was going downhill. It was like I was looked from, that guy who everyone admired and stuff like that to like a complete joke. Everyone started laughing at me. Everyone started making fun of me, like, you're not even starting in your senior year. It's what I heard all the time, like, oh, you did all that work and you're not starting. Oh, you did all that work and your season's going bad. Like, I practiced on Halloween. I was known for the guy who practiced nonstop, just for him to this whole year to go bad. So that paid off though a lot in my now. And a lot of those dudes that were making fun of me were the dudes that are actually looking at my stories a lot more without me even having them add or anything. I blocked these guys because I'm like, alright, I don't even want these guys to even be viewing my story. I know some people are like, oh yeah, you should let them watch your story because you want let the success or whatever. But I don't even want these guys to even acknowledge or even know me at all. They saw already I posted everything. One of them actually texted me something like yes sir, or something like that. I blocked him. Like, I don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on up here, but what is going on? There's a bunch of red lights. Let me see. It's like a bunch of police cars and the fire department. I'm not too sure what that's about. And they're blocking the road. So, yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what that's about. They blocked the road and there's a bunch of police cars blocking it. It's a fire department. No idea what's going on there. But, yeah, you know what? It's really disappointing how this first year ended for me compared to my expectations. And yeah, the first disappointment I had was the gym. That was a really big disappointment for me. Because most gyms at the colleges are huge. Some colleges are known for having huge gyms. This one was not the case. I'll tell you that for a second. I don't know if it was up that. It was really, really small gym. I'll just tell you that. Very, very small gym. Like, there was one, like, small place for the dumbbells and the benches. Like, there were 3 benches. Or no, there's 5 benches, I think. And, like, only a small space for the dumbbells. And it was a very small area. Very disappointing. I'll say. The gym, though, like, the basketball courts and the one volleyball court, that was half decent. They had, like, 2 basketball courts, like, full courts. And then 1 area for volleyball. So that was alright. I'm not too sure if other colleges have, like, huge places, and they had, like, 1 small tennis court here and 1 outside basketball court, or not tennis court. It was I don't know what it was. It was a wall ball, which would be cool if I was playing lacrosse. Like the wall ball for lacrosse. That helps out a lot. That's a drill that they do in lacrosse. The wall ball, where they practice the wall ball against the wall, and yeah, if I done another sport like that, for example, everyone just says the same. Like, my parents all the time look down upon me for wrestling. Like, not look down upon me, but like, why are you wrestling at all sports? Wrestling looks so boring to watch and everything like that. Like, oh yeah, one time my mom told me, why don't you just do football instead? And they don't know about that part, actually. They don't know about that situation where I didn't go. And maybe if I had the time, like, if football started in, like, November or something like that, I would have done football. The issue was the summer before then, I was overweight and I wasn't good at running or anything. My stamina was awful. But then afterwards, that's when my stamina I started running a lot, and during that time, that's why I started wrestling, because I'm like, all right, I can run actually a decent amount. 2 miles in, let's say, 20 minutes. That's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? That's actually pretty good for someone that was, like, really overweight the summer beforehand. That's pretty good. In my eyes, I thought that was pretty good. Like 22 minutes, I think it was. But yeah, it wasn't good in terms of the eyes of the high school athletes. The high school varsity athletes is seen as a big title, I think, maybe. I'm not too sure. I feel like everyone loves, like, you put varsity and, like, you're, like, the big deal. You know what I'm saying? I never saw any sort of big deal with it. Some people, like, or like if they're, like, 10th grade on varsity, for example, they'll put it in their bio, like, varsity. And it's like, I never saw the big deal of it. I don't know. Maybe some people hearing varsity, like, oh yeah, I'm dating a varsity player. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a fun bragging thing. Maybe. I'm not too sure. I have no idea how it worked. Like, I wrestled a D1 team on the live broadcast or anything like that, and maybe that might have been seen as a big deal, but I'm like, just another match. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about this stuff. I wrestled against some nationally ranked teams and wrestlers, and I don't see it too much as a big deal. Because I didn't grow up in the sports scene or anything like that. I didn't grow up in the traditional thing. Like, I didn't view, like, for example, we call it, like, high school, for example. I never went to any football or basketball or any games in my entire time, because I never had, like, when I was going to high school, I didn't think, like, oh yeah, those high school parties, those varsity. Oh my god, it's so hot in here all of a sudden. It's cold before outside, and now it's, like, so hot. I want to get this air coming for a second and then, like, turn it off. Yeah, it's not, like, blowing my face either way, right? I don't know. But yeah, I never really saw. I'm getting a little bit of a headache because of how hot it is. But I never really saw the point of a. I never like got the high school hype. I never, like, received it. Like, I never heard of it. Like the high school parties, the high school football games, the high school basketball games. And maybe people are, like, very hyped to see me in high school, because I was like that guy in middle school who was just messing around and doing anything. So, like, oh yeah, in high school, this guy's gonna be the main man. Everyone thought that. Everyone's like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be all that in high school. And I wasn't. I really was not. I was, like, if you saw me in middle school and saw me in high school, it's like, is this guy even the same person? Like, what happened to this dude? Did this dude fall off? But at the same time, he's doing good, but he fell off. Like, he changed a lot. Like, he lost his funny side a lot and started becoming more serious and more boring in their eyes, I think, because I was fun as well in the beginning of high school. I was fun. Like, when I got out of that dark state that I was in like in April and May time, I started having fun. I started just going to other people's classrooms, started just walking around the hallways a lot, messing around with some people, stuff like that. Doing really whatever, you know what I'm saying? And the whole grade was really friends. 10th grade, some people switched up, but 11th grade, everyone switched up. 10th grade, I mean, at the start of 10th grade, we were all friends. I mean, afterwards, everyone just started switching up on each other. But, no, the reason, why was I even talking about this? I don't think I was talking about the high school sports or whatever. I don't really know what I was talking about. The point is, when I dropped the weight, like, I matured a lot in that 10th grade year. I, like, matured like crazy. In 11th grade year, I was still a little bit, like, low, like, with my team though and stuff like that. I was, like, funny, like, stuff like that, messing around and things like that. But in my senior year, I became, like, much more serious and much more that high athlete. Because I was, like, that's when I started, like, being, like, oh, yeah, I'm that guy who could be the only college wrestler. I was not fully, I had college teams that were watching me a bit. When I say watching me a bit, I spam followed a bunch of coaches on Instagram, and the ones who followed me back, I felt like, oh yeah, these guys are watching me. They didn't care, they could care less. But yeah, I started going to, the real reason is because I started going to more like wrestling clubs and stuff like that, like some high level clubs and stuff like that. And that's when I started, being like, oh yeah, I'm like in the circle now, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need to really talk to any, like, that's why I started, like, and not just wrestling in general. This is when I started lifting, and when I started lifting as well, then I started getting that mindset, like, oh yeah, I'm improving myself, I'm getting into the circle. Because in football, it's all about, oh yeah, improving yourself. Like in the football room, it was a lot about, like, when you were lifting and stuff like that. It was about maintaining your high grades, doing the best you possibly could, and maturing you as a man. That's what wrestling's supposed to be. But these stupid coaches, I get a little passionate. Yes, these guys who are very stupid didn't understand that. And why I say that they're stupid is because it's like the younger guys started seeing what the older guys were doing, and they got influenced. And the whole team just became like a whole place where everyone was doing bad stuff. And it's like, maybe that happens in football, but there's always it's always pushed more in football to be better. People in wrestling, some of the kids are getting suspended. Some of the kids are fighting with their teachers, doing stuff like that. In football, if you did any sort of stuff like that, you were gonna get called to the football the coach's room, and he was gonna start screaming at you. And you deserve that. You cannot be yelling at your teacher. You cannot be throwing chairs in your class. That is not okay. I saw one time as well, some kid, like, on the wrestling team, I was walking by and I saw how he was, like, all of a sudden, like, the principal was calling him, and he started, like, going like, ah. I was very confused on what was going on. Actually, he started just making noises. Like, he was acting stupid. Like, he was doing it on purpose because the principal was talking to him or something like that. He's like, get over here right now. Like, no, because he was trying to get into the lunchroom and he didn't have his ID. He was just trying to sneak in, and someone caught him or something like that. Because it's like these people that do this stuff are so stupid. Anytime someone tries to break the rules or anything, they're so stupid. Like, I've walked into cafeterias, I've done stuff like that, but I just act so calm about it. I just pretend I'm there, and I just easily. These people start walking. They'll walk back and forth past the cafeteria like 10 times before they go in. Of course you're gonna get caught. You're like acting all suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Even then, like in the school store that we had where they sold all the snacks, I would just act like I was like belonging there, and I just took their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the lunchroom. I would just use other people's ID cards. Hopefully this is not a crime. I didn't use other people. I used my own brother's ID card. Hopefully that's not a crime. Admitting that, I don't really care. It's something I did. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it did, like, on the arrested or something like that. Where is this taking me? I don't even know. But yeah, what I really want to get into now, which I was just talking about before, So anyways, yeah, the story was the principal caught him or something like that, or one of the monitors called the principal, and he started going like when the principal was calling his name, and I thought I saw him, I was wrestling with my team, and I'm like, all right, what's going on here? And I saw him later on in practice, and I'm like, wait, he's just acting like everything's normal. And I'm like, I was so confused because I acted like a leader back then. Like, if you did something bad, I was gonna I was gonna talk to you about it. You know what I'm saying? In the start of the season, I was viewed as that guy. You know what I'm saying? I was not that guy at the end of the year. At the end of the year, everyone was laughing at me. Everyone was joking about me. I was joking around about me. This guy's so bad. He's a senior. He's this bad. Oh my god. And then I started pulling. That's the thing. No, it wasn't really at the end of the season too much. Some of the JV guys who didn't really watch the tournament stuff like that, they started making. I was really I don't think you understand. I was made fun of by the freshmen. I was like, oh my god, what's going on here? They were. I feel like a lot, not too much. We were friends and stuff like that as well, but I felt like later on they started a bit, but then they stopped. But I actually I feel like when I gained my weight the heaviest and I had my buzz cut, that's when I started making my fun of. That was it. But when I started growing my hair and actually having looking a lot stronger than I did in season, I started getting more people just being like, oh yeah, whatever. Especially after that speech, I got a lot of respect off that. I don't need respect on other people, but yeah, basically what ended up happening was there was this period between December, the start of December till the end of December, where everyone started going after me. Because what ended up happening was there was a semifinals match against me and a kid from a rival school, and we're not really a rival school. We're way better than them, but the point was he was friends with a lot of the kids in my grade in my school a lot, because he was friends with a lot of them, and I wrestled against them, and so I took him. I initially shot at him really straight away, I was trying to shoot on him. I shot him out of bounds and stuff like that, and my coach was yelling at me. He's like, "What are you doing? You can't just be shooting at nowhere." I was trying to get a stall call off this guy, and this is the thing. These guys really underestimate. I feel like that's the problem a lot. These guys really underestimate me back in high school, and I feel like that's a regret they have now. Seeing me now in college, seeing what I'm doing now, it's oh my, it's not normal for a kid to be where I was and done what I done, just be in those matches and really do what I was doing. I was controlling that kid. I was you could see me wrestling really smart against that guy who I was expecting to get taken down in the first 10 seconds at least. They were expecting me, probably. Because my teammate who got taken down, who wrestled the kid that was a little worse than him, the kid at 184, he got taken down in the first 3 seconds. But that's not his fault. I don't know who shoots a double leg in the first second. They don't do that often. But that kid was a New York State finalist. I think in his junior year and his senior year got canceled. I'm not too sure what the story was behind it. I think he was a senior. I'm not too sure. Anyways, he double legged him in the first second. That doesn't happen often, so that's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not dissing this teammate as well, because he kills me every single. Where's this taking me? Oh, I'll go left. He kills me every practice. So when I saw him get taken out, I'm all right, I'm next. You know what I'm saying? All right, no, I didn't think that. I really thought that this kid wasn't as good as he was, but he was very strong. Looking back, everyone's like, oh my god, that kid was so huge and everything. But for me, I was like, I didn't even think this kid was huge. I was controlling him. And either way, let's get back to the story I was at. So anyways, he started screaming at me. He's like, you can't be shooting like that. And he had a little bit of a fair point. I was just shooting out of nowhere. Because I destroyed kids in practice, all the time. And I'm like, all right, I can easily shoot on these guys. These guys are light. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I did a lot in high school. In my senior year, I just shot really quickly, and as well in the first match, that's exactly what I did. Literally in the first, I think 6 seconds, I double-legged the kid and took him down. And I think I scored around 4 takedowns on the kid, 5. And I don't know how much. I took him down in the beginning. I actually pancaked him. He shot on me, I think, and I actually pancaked him from there. And I had him on his back. I kept getting a bunch of back points. I think if the ref didn't stop the match at the end of the match, I actually put him on his back as well in the last 2 seconds. So I was a point away, I think, from teching him. I think I beat him 16-2. I think it was. I don't know what the score was. I think it was 16-2 or 15-2. I'm not too sure exactly what the score was. I think it was 16-2. Or no, maybe it was. I'm not too sure. I beat him by a lot though. Let's just put it at that. But anyways, that match was pretty easy. Like I was just like he got a reversal on me, and I'll tell you how he got the reversal on me. So I was riding him, I think, a bit or something like that. I was trying to do a half on him, and I got lazy with it at the end, and I actually let him reversal me. Like I let him get behind me, and coach was like, you can't let that happen to you. You know what I'm saying? I got like literally the second later, I did a switch, and then I stood up and ran at him and double legged him and took him down. That was actually called out of bounds. Actually, I don't know how to this day that was called out of bounds. There's no way that was out of bounds. But anyways, I still took him down again afterwards. That I would get in. Ooh, it's a little rough. Oh my god, this parking lot's completely empty. I have a lot of memories here. I used to go here a lot when I was younger. But no, what the point was, yeah, afterwards. So I ended up then afterwards, as soon as the whistle blows, I just like stood there for like a second. Like I just stood there for like 1 second, just seeing what he would do. And I double legged him and took him down. And that was pretty easy. Like I double legged him, but I didn't like fully like pick him up or anything. I just ran to the side and got him. And then afterwards, like 20 seconds later, we're like going. He's like, I don't know, he's like trying to stand up and stuff like that. And I actually let him up. And my coach was screaming at me like, he's like, why'd you let him up? Why'd you let him up? And then the kid, like, I think 10 seconds later, then we get back to the circle and stuff like that. I'm getting underhooks and stuff like that. He shoots on me, and I actually defended his shot pretty easily. And we were like in a little sequence for like 20 seconds, and the coach was like screaming. He's like, no, don't do that, don't do that. I got the reversal, and that was pretty cool. I'm not fighting against my coach here. I'm just saying that I didn't really know what he was. He didn't. Afterwards, he started sitting back. He's like, all right, I'm not gonna say anything anymore. He's not gonna listen to me. But then afterwards, this is where things were really bad. So I wrote him out. I kept him on top at the end of the period. But then I'm extremely tired. I'm like dead. Oh my god. I'm like, because here's the thing. What happened was, our wrestling didn't start till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think you understand. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I wrestled my first match, I think 4:30. And this is back then when I had crazy nerves. I was still extremely nervous going to these matches. And I actually had to used to wear a mouthpiece, and I hated wearing a mouthpiece. That was so annoying. That's something I love in college, not wearing a mouthpiece. I had to wear it in high school, and that was really annoying. So I don't think anyone really wears a mouthpiece in college. That would be a little weird, but anyways, I turn the lights on. Anyway, so in the second period begins, and I think I took a really bad shot at him, and he pancakes me, and he like put me on his back, and then it's like his teammates and everything like are in shock and everything, and everyone's just looking at me, and I get really mad after this match, and I might actually talk about it on the way back. I don't want to talk about it too long right now, but I get really mad. So what ended up happening was I shook his hand, of course, but I like my coach was like, I've been calling me or something like that. And I walked away. I'm like, I'm not talking to this guy right now. And what ended up happening was I was actually wearing the thing you wear around your foot. And I actually walked off. Like, I was so mad. So my teammates and everything and my coaches were like screaming at me to come back. And I just like, so what ended up happening was I walked like back to my side. And one of the kids were like asking me, oh, did you win your match? I chucked my headgear against the thing. And I walked out. So I made like a huge thing. But because it was a huge thing. I was expecting to kill this kid. And I just got pinned by him. I'm like, how did this even happen? You know what I'm saying? And like, this is a really big tournament for me because this is the first my comeback tournament from my injury from last. I got injured at the last tournament, and I literally had to get taken off. Like, they had to pick me up and take me off. And I wasn't able to wrestle in the postseason because of it. So that sucked. And yeah, you know, what do you call it? I'll explain this. Yeah, as well, the tournament, the school was East Hampton, and my whole family went there, and I used to live there, so that was also like a reason why, a motive for me to win it. And I was very disappointed to not. But I'm like, all right, I'm out now. You know what I'm saying? This is horrible. I still placed the tournament. You know what I'm saying? I made the semis. It was a semifinals match, so I still placed, but I still told myself like I was gonna win this thing easily. So it's not a hard tournament, and it sucked not winning it, and it really hurt for me. And anyways, the point was the person who pinned me was all their friends, and everyone started saying, "Oh yeah, he pinned you, he owns you," and stuff like that. And that's something I heard for a lot from the whole month. "Oh yeah, he owns you," and stuff like that. And I still heard it later. And I asked one of them, I'm like, "Wait, are you like, do you guys make fun of this guy?" And they're like, "Yeah, we do." So I'm not too sure if they were like joking around. Like I don't think they probably mess around with this dude a lot, because you know they always make fun. Everyone makes fun of the chubby dude all the time. And it wasn't completely chubby, but he was a little bigger than everyone else. But I could tell that they were making fun of him, because, you know, they were like pushing him around sometimes and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of respect. I'm not too sure what it was. But yeah, it's whatever really, and it kind of sucks how everything went back then as well. But yeah, that was really the story of my downfall. So anyways, I mean, I'll get back to it when I come back. I gotta go right now. I just came back right now. I was just eating some food in my car. You know, this mango ice cream. It was pretty good, to be honest, but I was eating alone because I didn't have anybody, of course. And I looked at my phone. I couldn't really text anybody because I don't have any apps to text anyone. Don't really have anyone's number or anything like that. And never really check to see if anyone was texting me. You know, I know some people do that sometimes where they delete social media, but they'll constantly be seeing who's checking their message, who's like texting them, whatever. I do that. I want to stay off of it strictly and really, you know, go after everything. But you know, when you're doing what I'm doing right now with the whole content, literally everything, like I'll be honest, like if I saw one of my friends doing this, I would, you know, might make fun of him a little bit, or not make fun of him, but view him a little differently. I mean, like, who does this kid think he is? Not who does this kid think he is, but this kid won't make it, you know what I'm saying? I would have that, and I don't want to say that, but this is something that I would have. Or, not really always. I saw one guy, I talked about it before, we had the one group of friends who was trying to be Twitch streamers and trying to post their clips, and they gave up really quick. They gave up after like 1 week or something like that, and you could tell in those videos that they were like putting on a mask, and it was pretty, but also because the reach was so low. But you know, when you have all your friends supporting each other in that group, like they're all liking the posts and stuff like that, it gets pushed out more. With me, I literally had to start from zero because I don't have a friend group who's liking the post or anything like that. Maybe that's normal, but I don't have anybody who does that stuff. And maybe it's not, like I said, it's maybe normal to not have that, but I didn't have that, so I did this completely alone. And you know, I was talking about the story about the wrestling thing and everything like that, and how everyone was talking to me. Anyways, the point was with that whole thing, I'm not going to talk about it for too long. I have something else to talk about, but with the wrestling thing was afterwards, for that whole entire month, everyone started treating me like I was less. I was looked down upon and like laughing at me. And I started coming home from practice every single day, and I was crying. I was really upset. I don't think I was crying anymore after this time. This period though was the period where I would come back home after every single practice and I would start crying. I hated practice, so I'm like, the season's over. Everything's over. Everything I fought for, everything is done. My whole entire thing is over. There's nothing I can do. He has me I'm in a headlock right now. My coach is telling me, is basically putting it where I'm never wrestling again. Well, I gotta turn on these lights as well, maybe that'll help out a little bit. But my coach is basically where the coach can just completely destroy my season, and this is completely evident. He knew it. Everyone knew it. And people started making fun of me, like, you're not wrestling anymore. And that was the thing that a lot of people started doing until we had a tournament. And this is the time when my record was really bad. I had 3 wins. I said 3 wins. I only had like 5 matches, I think, up until this point. So I didn't really wrestle a lot. I had 7 matches. I won 5 of them, and I lost 2 of them, I think, or 3 of them. I'm not too sure. I think it was 2. Was it 2 or I'm not too sure what it was. No, it's 3. I lost in triple overtime, actually, one time. As a kid, at that same East Hampton tournament, I was really tired, before even going to that match, I was so exhausted from the other match, and it was speeding up the time. So in that match, we actually how did he take me down? I don't think he took me down. Maybe I'm not too sure what exactly happened. I remember getting a reversal. I mean, no, he took me down. Actually, he sweep singled me or something like that, and I actually spun behind him and got a takedown from there. And I think he escaped afterwards, and we were level afterwards. And then we went to triple overtime there, and I lost the match because they called a clasping on me. You know. So yeah, that sucked, and I lost triple overtime because of that. But afterwards, why did I go on that road? Oh my god, whatever. That dude's probably gonna get really mad at me the fact I did that. I'm all over the place right now. But yeah, anyways, for that whole period, I was really looked down upon. People were laughing at me, being like, "Oh yeah, loser, this and that." But I came to the tournament and I won 3 matches in a row. And I lost, I had a really close match against the number 1 kid in the county. I should have beat him. Realistically, I should have beat him in that match. Like if you saw the whole match, it was just a lack of confidence from me. I literally got a takedown on him. Like I took him down, but we went out of bounds in like the first 10 seconds. And the thing was, he didn't get taken down. He pinned all of his opponents. He was 25-0 at the time. He pinned all of his opponents, most of them in the first period, and he never got taken down before then. So he was like seen as this big guy and stuff like that, but I didn't see him as that big guy. I'm like, all right, I know this guy. He's been at my club, practices. I've seen him, what he does. I know he's not practicing as hard. I've seen how I practice, and this is the confidence where that came from. Was I seen how these guys practice? They're not practicing. They're just sitting around. They're sitting around. Like he would come to the morning practices at 11 o'clock. I don't think I saw him at the nighttime practices. I saw him in the morning practice. He had football, and he was actually good at football. He was like all state in football, so he was actually pretty good. So, and like I would see him on Sunday, and he would just be sitting around. Like he would very wrestle around or two, but he would just be sitting out like on the side on the floor the entire time. And I'm like, all right, this guy's clearly not working. He's got the talent, whatever, but he's not working. I'm working. I'm going against all the coaches, all the guys I can find, even the younger guys. Like I don't know, whatever guy I can find. If I was 190 at the time during that time. Of course, I was at 215. I literally jumped up to 215 in the last 3 weeks before the season began. Like, I was a 195 pounder, 198. I was walking around, but then I started eating a lot because I wanted to go up to 215 and have a real advantage there. I'd rather really do well at 215. I was like, I want to at 190, the weight class was so stacked, and I'm like, all right, at 190, it's gonna be a hard challenge for me. I don't know why. I used to have a lot of self-doubt on me, but the issue was these guys were a lot more stronger than me. I wasn't as strong as them, so I didn't want to go there, which doesn't make sense why I would go to 215 then. But I was like, either I can I can do well at 190, or I can qualify for states and do well at states at 215. I'm like, I gotta go after 215. You know what I'm saying? This weight class, I could take this on. And the same thing with there was also wrestling the number 2 kid in the county. So after that match too as well, a kid actually came out to me who was actually making fun of me and stuff like that. He actually apologized to me because he actually had a bad tour. That was a really hard tour. The issue was that tournament's viewed as a really hard tournament, and he didn't make it to the second day. This 2-day tournament, so he didn't make it to the second day of the tournament. Literally, my weight class was filled with literally the best kids in the state, not in the state, in the county, and then it was just me who was there the second day as well. So, in that weight class, everyone who made it to the second day, everyone in that weight class was crazy at wrestling. Let's just say that. And then there's me. Of course, now I'm in college and doing everything I'm doing. But at the time, my image was destroyed. Actually, it was not, because people were actually watching me on that first day, and they were watching how crazy I was wrestling. Like, oh wait, where did this guy come from? He's just a nobody. He just had a big match against the number 1 kid in the county. I walked up after the match, and I didn't mean to walk up. What I ended up wanting to do, I actually wanted to just take off my headgear. My headgear was annoying me, so I just wanted to take it off. My coach is like, "Oh, go back." The guy thought I was walking up. I was just trying to take off my headgear. That's what I used to do in high school. I hated my headgear. In college, you can see I wear a white headgear, and that really helps me a lot in high school. I used to wear a black headgear, and it used to fall off me like every single 3 seconds. I had to keep adjusting it over and over again. It was so annoying. I hated headgear in high school for that. It just kept on being messed up. So yeah, that was that. And they apologized to me, and afterwards I was treated a lot better and stuff like that. But the real issue that I just want to talk about. I just want to finish that story and just be like, it's weird like how people like treat you when you're doing good compared to not. Like, anyway, the point is that recently, I talked about it. One of my friends, one of the people that I used to be talked to a lot and stuff like that, he actually dropped a hate comment on one of my videos. Very surprising. He never likes any of my videos. He literally watches all my videos. Like on TikTok, you can see the views, like who watches your videos and stuff like that. He watches them, and he never liked them. He also follows me on Instagram. So even though this guy doesn't really like me, I feel like he actually one time he actually messaged a hate comment to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, I never even see you take a takedown or anything like that." And I actually texted him that in my first match I got like 2 takedowns and a reversal. And I'm like, I guess a junior. And I'm like, all right, how's your how are you doing wrestling in college? Or it says something along the lines of that. I mean, he's like, okay. That's what he texted me. Or he texted me, all right. So I don't really know. But afterwards, yeah, it's weird. This guy maybe doesn't like me too much anymore, but he did follow me on Instagram, which was weird because he had me followed on TikTok. So I don't know why he would follow me on Instagram if this dude didn't like me. I don't know. And he dropped a hate comment on Instagram, so maybe he's watching my videos on Instagram as well. Why is this dude watching me on TikTok and Instagram? I don't know, but yeah. None of my friends really supported me or anything like that, and it's like coming to this college as well, and that's where I really wanted to get to now. It's like I was walking out because we were just having the reflection and everything like that, and this is maybe another reason why I'm sort of feeling like this. As I was like, we had to do this final home assignment, and it was like a homework assignment, not homework assignment. It was like a closing assignment. Be like, oh yeah, how did I impact you as writers and stuff like that. This class is only like 40 minutes long, so I'm sick. Of course, 40 minutes sounds like a lot. Like in high school terms, like if I had to sit in class for 40 minutes, that would have been awful. But in college, it's like classes like an hour and 20 minutes long, and that's crazy thinking it's that long. Oh my god, crazy classes used to be 40 minutes in high school. And in my when I used to go to East Hampton, when I used to live there, the classes were actually 50 minutes long, which is crazy. And I actually used to sit there the entire class, but I would just mess around a lot as well towards the end. I was always a smart kid in that school, and when I came here, I wasn't viewed as smart anymore. I was viewed as a, troublemaker and stuff like that. Whatever it is, really. I don't really know. But anyways, the point was, like I was viewing the assignments, stuff like that, because I had to find the assignment, and I couldn't find it in the beginning. But when I found it, I looked at the one of the essays that I did, and I was like, I saw a 0 out of 25. And up until this point, I've actually never seen the grades for this class. I've never seen any of it. So this is my first time ever seeing the grades, and I looked at them, and I'm like, and it's like 0, 0, 0, 0. So I'm looking at these classes now, and I have like 1 or 2 assignments graded, and I'm like, wait, how is that even possible? I mean, maybe I still have to check it afterwards. I'm like, how is that even possible? I've submitted a whole semester's worth of assignments. I'm like, how is that even possible? Maybe some of the stuff, I don't really know. Maybe some of the stuff weren't like on the grades there, but from what I saw, none of them were graded. And so the essay I saw, it was 0 out of 25, and I remember doing this essay a long time ago, like way before the due date, like maybe a week before, and submitting it. So I checked it, and I actually submitted it in the wrong area, but still 0 out of 20. At the time, I didn't know straight away. So all of a sudden, I'm like thinking, like, oh wait, did I just fail this class? This is the one class I was supposed to not fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the other classes are looking like I'm gonna do really bad. And I'm like, this class as well. I looked at it now. I don't think I'm gonna do bad necessarily. Maybe like an 80, 70, something like that. But it's still not great. But anyways, the point is, like, I don't feel like I belong here once again. Like, once again, I was walking. As I was walking out, I was reflecting on my year, how everything went. I can't remember a lot of stuff that happened this year. I really can't. And some people starting like stuff on TikTok. I don't really scroll on TikTok really too much, but you know, when you switch your profiles, it like shows you like the first like TikTok that comes up. Like I don't know why it like sends you straight into the scrolling section. So I always see like sometimes like people be like, oh yeah, I'm not living the college experience, and other people are like, oh yeah, I agree and stuff like that. Maybe oh look at all these Christmas lights. It's like all over the place now. Start of December, so oh my god, that's gonna be so sick seeing stuff. The Christmas lights. Oh my god, the Christmas trees. I'm gonna go straight actually. I want to see these Christmas lights here. Yo, I'm telling, this is crazy having these Christmas lights here and everything like that. But you know, as I was walking out, I'm like, wait, I didn't even wrestle here the entire semester. No, I went to one practice and barely went to the gym here. And I'm like, I could have just went to like a community college, for example, basically, because community college, everyone says no one talks to each other. This felt like a community college because I was just going to standard classrooms, like small classrooms, taking classes that were like I had to take some classes because I transferred here, so I had to take some classes in order to fulfill the needs to like take the main courses, like the courses that I want. So I had to take some bad courses. So yeah, anyways, I'm like, wait, I could have just done this the entire time. I didn't do anything here the entire semester. I didn't talk. I haven't made one friend here the entire semester. I haven't had a real connection with anybody in around 19 months. And it's always funny to like see other people, like some people that you don't like and stuff like that, to be in that situation, like have that whole thing. But like, you know, it really just sucks because I'm not having a victim mentality. I'm not being like, oh yeah, poor me. But I'm just saying that like, this whole semester, I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't really have friends with anybody. I only went to one practice, and even then, in that practice, there were 4 kids there. None of them were at the high level of what they're. None of them were any of the. I don't think any of them were actually like wrestlers. Like I mean, like actual kids are actually going to be like wrestlers week in and week out, like I was supposed to be. And it's like, you know, it's like weird, like not having that like identity as a college wrestler anymore. And this is another thing that you would love to see, where some of your other people like fail and stuff like that and lose their identity as a wrestler or athlete, whatever it is. But like, I'm not exactly losing my identity as an athlete, because I'm still able to. I mean, I was able, now I can't. But I'm like, it's crazy. Like, I'd walk around, I'm like, I'm not an athlete anymore. What am I now? You know what I'm saying? Because I used to walk around every single day, be like, oh yeah, I'm a college wrestler and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm not that. Like on social media, like I was viewed everywhere as college wrestler. Now I'm not that. I'm just average. And I was actually watching a YouTube video about this literally a minute ago, about some guy who I really watch every single day. The reason why I put him on was because I used to watch him a lot, and it used to help my mentality and everything like that. Like, you know, I don't really know exactly how to explain it. It helped me a lot, like with my trying to stay in a positive mentality. He really improved my life. It was one of the few self-improvement YouTubers, whatever it's called. And most of them are stupid, but he actually did something good. And I really love watching his videos because they were like storytelling a lot sometimes. And I know a lot of people nowadays have storytelling tricks and stuff like that. But I felt like he was fully authentic and everything like that. And that's why I really watch him a lot. And because I could just, I don't know, just positive. I felt a lot related to him, and maybe that was his message and stuff like that. Was his whole thing. But anyways, he stopped posting around 6 months ago. He said he was gonna, no, 4 months ago. Well, he all of a sudden started going all over the place. Like, he started really posting some random stuff, and then all of a sudden he like posted like 5 months ago now that he's taking a short break. He doesn't know when he's coming back, and he hasn't come back since. I like the Bearman. I used to watch all of his shorts, all of his videos, everything. So, not seeing him, I haven't really watched any of his videos in a while. Maybe I might go back and start watching some of his videos again, because I was just watching his videos right now. It was very cool. And he was talking about a little bit about how he didn't make it was his basketball thing. He didn't make the first team that he was trying to make. He made the third team. And afterwards, he quit basketball because of that. I'm going to go to the left, actually. I didn't see too much Christmas lights when I took the other way, but right here you can see a little bit more. This is pretty sick, everything. Anyways, the reason why I sort of relate to it, because afterwards he said, oh yeah, like he didn't have any purpose. You know, he was very upset. You say like he was very depressed. Like, he doesn't really like to use the word depressed, but he felt very alone and stuff like that. And then he started his YouTube channel, and it was talking literally about exactly what happened to me, where some people are gonna look at you weird from your old place, he posted on his story. I was not posting mine on my story. I'll tell you that for a fact. Maybe I should have, but I maybe made a stupid decision there. That would maybe got some pressure off some of my friends to maybe follow and stuff like that. I didn't do any of that stuff, so there's weird people that stalk you nonstop. So eventually, those people saw my profile, my account, that content, and everything like that, because they're weirdos that just nonstop. When I'm saying weird people, I'm talking about coaches that did me wrong and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Coaches that ignore, like a club coach who ignored me. That's who I'm basically saying when I say weird person. Like people that are constantly looking at you over and over again. I'm just an athlete. I don't need any whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't hang out with any of these athletes. I don't party with any of these athletes. I go after everything as hard as possible. Anyways, the point was he was talking about how that YouTube channel became his replacement for basketball, and I feel like sort of that's what this is what it's doing for wrestling for me. But I feel like wrestling a bit. Of course, maybe I might lean more into the lifting and stuff like that, and maybe shift my way away from wrestling a little bit more as it comes closer. Maybe I'll be a little bit more of that wrestling. I have multiple accounts, so I feel like this is a little confusing though. How I don't know maybe on the clip account I stopped posting as much clips and maybe post more of my lifting stuff. But I don't really see any influencers that post only on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Everyone posts on YouTube, I have this YouTube thing, so that's cool. So I think I can actually do it really well. So I have the coaching account, and I have the Journey account. So I think the Journey account's still going to be a wrestling thing and stuff like that, and maybe I still post wrestling thing every single once in a while, because I still have the wrestling experience, and it's not really any wrestlers in this area right now, which is why it's such an open lane for me as a college wrestler, and not just a graduate or anything like that to go into it. So I see an open lane there, because in the fitness bodybuilding, there's a huge audience, a lot of people want to do it. So, it's very hard to compete against them. I feel like I would have the competitive edge because I can use my wrestling advantage to it and my lifting, and I'm only 19. And my whole storytelling and personality and everything like that. But yeah, I was thinking about it while I was going back. I'm like, all right, this entire time I made no friends. I've hardly ever talked to anybody. I was literally on the first day of class was the only time I showed my personality a bit. I was laughing with this kid and talking to him a bit on the first day. I was laughing at the teacher a bit, and the teacher saw my personality, and it was pretty cool. I was joking around a bit, but literally that was it. That's it. The entire semester, not talking to anybody, not showing my personality one time. And I put on a mask the entire semester, and I hate this place because of this. Maybe I don't know. The second semester, it can't get worse than this first semester. Unless I break my leg, or I shouldn't say that, because now that could happen. Listen, it's really bad the first semester. I gotta fix it. Next semester, I go out and talk to more people and get that more confidence. I'm gaining more confidence.